How's it going, everyone? Jordan here at Totally Bored, and today I want to address two things, but the first thing is I want to say thank you because we have reached 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy that 1,000 of you have subscribed to me and you guys like my videos. I think that's really cool feeling, and thank you. It's been awesome just growing with you guys together and also getting to know you and chatting in the comments. It's been really cool. So anyways, to show my appreciation, I am going to be doing a giveaway. This is a game that is in my top 10, and it's actually my number 5. And this is Dinosaur Island Roar and Write, which if you don't know about this game, it is basically Jurassic Park, the roll and write. It's really, really good, and I love it, and I want all of you to be able to play it. So in order to enter the giveaway, you just have to do two things. You have to subscribe to the channel and then comment below your favorite board game of all time. And at the beginning of my next video, I will announce a winner. I'm going to be taking all the comments and randomly selecting someone, and I will announce that. So stay tuned and good luck to everyone. Thank you all again. And the second thing I wanted to talk about is a recap of my November plays. This was actually the most I have gamed in all of board gaming since I started back in September of 2022, which is crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up my BG stats, and you guys can see I clocked in 60 hours. That's freaking crazy. You know, I work full time, as I'm sure many of you guys do, so clocking in 60 hours of board games is crazy. Anyways, basically this was possible for two main reasons. The first being the Extra Life charity event that happened earlier in the month, and I'm sure a lot of you guys participated in that. I clocked in about 15 hours of gaming on that day, and then my birthday was actually a couple weeks ago towards the end of November, and I clocked in around 9 or 10 hours that day, so tons of gaming. It was so much fun, and we're gonna go over a few games that I played. Now you can see a lot of the games already, but I'm gonna highlight some of the ones that stood out to me and some games that made some good impressions, some that made not so great impressions. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, one of the games that I played during the Extra Life charity event was a game called Too Many Bones. Now, this is a game that I have heard a lot about in the hobby. You know, it gets talked about widely being, you know, a really, really good solo game. Its production is off the charts, and I can attest to that. When I played it, it was super, super awesome production. Everything was neoprene mats. You had really hefty dice. I mean, seriously, the game weighs like 40 pounds. It's crazy. But this was a game that I played with my buddy John, and I will say I was actually I will go as far as saying very underwhelmed with this game. I went in with zero expectations. I try to do that with almost any game, and I feel like I'm pretty good at doing that. With this game, fully went in zero expectations, and I just didn't think it was that fun. If I'm being transparent, I didn't really like it. I don't want to say I hated it. I will more so say that it was okay. And I felt like the art was cool and unique. I didn't personally find it appealing. I don't think the story was that engaging either. And maybe it's not really supposed to be. I don't know. I was just kind of playing it by ear and learning it with my friend John. But the combat I felt like was a little not exciting. You know, you have a good amount of decision space there, but you're just rolling dice and assigning them. And maybe it's just something that I'm learning I don't really like. Maybe I don't like using dice to attack. But I will say I really did like the upgrades in the game, you know, being able to upgrade your character and choose which path and which abilities you're going to unlock. I thought that was really fun. And then being able to go use that after you unlock it is cool. I think that was great. And like I said, this wasn't the worst game I've ever played, but I think it was pretty average, slightly better than average, at least in my experience. And I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. Now, this is my first impressions rating, and this is subject to change. I only played the game once. Took about 5 hours. But yeah, I was a little underwhelmed, and I'm sad to say that. I've heard a lot of really good things about that. So that was one of the lowlights, I guess you could say, of the month. But leading into the next game, this is a game that I picked up on Black Friday. This is a Stonemaier game that is very new called Apiary, about bees in space. And this game was a pleasant surprise. I went into this with also zero expectations. I heard the buzz around the game. I really didn't know much about it other than it's about bees in space. And I learned this with a new friend of mine that I met on Black Friday. We played through it, and it's really fun. It is a worker placement game where you have these bees, and they Basically, you can assign them to do different things like go explore new planets, gather resources, hire new bees, all kinds of stuff. And the cool thing about this, and the unique thing as far as I've never seen this in any game before, but when another player goes into a space where your bee is going to get sent back to your hive and you can use him again. And not only that, he actually increases in strength, which on later turns will allow you to do more powerful moves. So there's a lot of really cool interaction with other players, like positive interaction. And I thought that was really cool. And yeah, this game was really fun. I'm giving this a 7.5 out of 10. It's something I definitely want to come back again and play and kind of explore more because it's a pretty deep game. But if you haven't tried this, give it a shot. I was really surprised by this and I enjoyed it a lot. Next up, we have a game that, well, let me transition actually. Let me preface this by saying I really enjoy Star Realms. If you guys don't know what Star Realms is, it is one of the kind of classic deck builders about well, basically you have your own space station, I guess, or kind of colony, and it's a dueler. You're trying to just attack and whittle down your opponent until their hit points reach 0. Very straightforward deck builder. And they came out with a sort of re-implementation slash reskin of Star Realms called Star Wars: The Deck Building Game. And this game really surprised me. This was a really, really fun game. And I played this with a buddy of mine, Andrew, who doesn't really play a lot of board games, but he loves Star Wars, and I knew he would be down to try this. Went over to his house, played it. It took us like 2 hours. I think it's supposed to, let me see, I have it somewhere. Yeah, it was hiding behind Nemesis. But this is supposed to be 30 minutes. Well, obviously whenever you're learning a game, it's going to take longer than that. It took us about 2 hours, but had a really good time. I ended up losing, but what you do is one person is taking on the role of the Empire and the other person is taking on the role of the Rebels, and you are trying to do the same thing in Star Realms. You're trying to attack your opponent and take down their base and reach 0 hit points. And once they reach 0 hit points, you win. So it's really cool, really fun, straightforward game. I think thematically this game is really good. I was able to immerse myself a lot more into this game than I could Star Realms, and that could be because the IP is attached to it. But overall, I love the theme a lot more. I think the component-wise, it was okay. It's a pretty cheap game. I think the retail's $40. I got it for $15 at Target, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot. But I think it's pretty similar to Star Realms if you played that game. But overall, this game's really fun. I felt like there was a lot of depth to it. There was a lot of cards. Basically, you have this, it's called the Galaxy Row, which is kind of like the shop if you've played other deck builders. And different characters will make an appearance, such as Darth Vader. And obviously, if you're playing the Empire, you want to spend resources and recruit and get Darth Vader so you can play him later. But the really cool thing is the Rebels, at any time, or at least on their turn, they can actually use their attack power to defeat Darth Vader while he's in that Galaxy Row, and that prevents you from being able to recruit him, and it also nets them some benefits like earning more force or more resources. So really, really like that about this game. I thought that was super cool and a pretty big variation from Star Realms. And overall, this game's really good. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10, and I'm really, really looking forward to exploring this more in the future. And next we have a game that I had been wanting to play for a really, really long time. This is Zombicide 2nd Edition. Now, you can see on my BG stats here, I clocked in 14 hours of this game. I binged the freaking crap out of this game in November and loved every second of it. So the interesting thing is I played this once, or the first time I played it, I should say, and it was okay. It didn't really hit the mark for me. I didn't feel like it was a bad game, but I felt like it was pretty average. But the more I played it, I realized the simplicity of it is what makes it so freaking good in combination with the really attractive theme. I feel like a lot of people love zombies, you know, The Walking Dead, Left 4 Dead. That's what this game reminds me of 100%, is Left 4 Dead, the board game. It's super fun. There's a lot of really interesting characters that you can play as, each with their own unique skill trees sort of, and their own characteristics and abilities. It's really fun. I really like it a lot. A lot of fun missions. I think the 2nd edition kind of main box comes with like 25 scenarios, and they're all really unique, at least all the ones I've played so far. I think I'm on mission 8 right now, but this game, man, it's so good. I've already bought the Fort Hendricks, or excuse me, no, the Rio de Janeiro expansion for it. I'm waiting on Target to ship it out, but I'm loving this game. If you guys haven't played it, it's a zombie apocalypse survival game where you are essentially doing a variety of missions, but turns are really simple. Honestly, all you're really doing is either moving, you are attacking, or you're searching, and then you're completing objectives. So it's really simple. It kind of reminds me of a more simplistic Nemesis, if you guys have ever played that. Love the game. This is actually going to get a 9 out of 10 for me. I've played this quite a bit, and I feel like I am confident in that rating. So if you haven't played Zombicide, I 100% recommend it. It's super good, and there's a lot of different themes that you can play. You know, they have a Western themed Zombicide, they have a space themed Zombicide, a like fantasy, old-timey Zombicide. I prefer the modern day type experience, so that's why I went with the second edition, but Zombicide's so good. Fully recommend it if you haven't played it, and yeah, 9 out of 10. So that wraps up my November plays as well as my giveaway announcement. I want to thank you guys so much again for 1,000 subs. I think that's so awesome. Don't forget to comment your favorite board game so you can be entered into the giveaway, as well as hit that subscribe button if you are not. This is Jordan here at Totally Bored. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.